Okay, Hare Krishna. So I welcome you all to the session 2 of the Radhashtami meditations. So today the topic of our discussion is the associates of Srimati Radharani. In the first session, we have discussed about the Radha Tattva, the Tattva of Srimati Radharani. Today we're going to discuss about the associates. So I would like to share the PPT. Yes. So this is our topic today. So first we will recite a relevant verse from Sri Brahma Samhita, and then we will offer our prayers. So this is a famous verse from Brahma Samhita, which points to the various associates, the expansions of Srimati Radharani. Sri Brahma Samhita 5.37. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhi Tabhirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabhi Golokaeva Nivasatyakhilātma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So what does this say? It translates to the following. I worship Govinda, the primal Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency, possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidence, the Sakhis, embodiments of the extension of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadambrayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Pratitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. So here we see Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabhis. Yeah, what is this Ananda Chinmaya Rasa? So, the living entities experience Ananda, happiness. But this Ananda is different from the Ananda that is experienced by Govinda back in the spiritual world. Yeah. How is this Ananda different? The Ananda experienced by a Jiva, especially in the material world, and the Ananda that is experienced by the Supreme Lord Govinda himself in the spiritual world is quite different. What is the difference? The Ananda experienced by Lord Govinda is Chinmaya Rasa. Yeah. What is this Chinmaya? Chinmaya means that bliss, that happiness, which is full of Chinmaya. Chinmaya means knowledge. Yeah. This is not the Gyan, but it is coming out of complete knowledge. Yeah. On the other hand, the Ananda that is experienced by the living entities who are entrapped in this material world, they also experience, we also experience this, happiness sometimes, right? Or many times with our near and dear ones, or with so many activities for thrills and fun of life. Yeah, we also do experience Ananda. This Ananda is different from the Ananda that is experienced by Lord Govinda. In it, that the happiness we are experiencing is in ignorance. Yeah. It is far from the reality. It's stated ignorance is bliss. Yeah, it has a very deep import actually. Yeah. So, yeah. So he is enjoying the Chinmaya Rasa. And that pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord Govinda is Srimati Radharani, which we have discussed in detail in the last session. So in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, she is who is the embodiment of ecstatic potency, possessed of the 64 artistic activities. We talk about the 64 transcendental arts. So all these 64 transcendental arts are in fact in the spiritual world, they are persons. Like the art of painting, the art of making bed, the art of dressing, the art of painting the body. The different, the art of setting the hair, the art of making the crown, the art of building the homes, the art of different 64 transcendental arts, very beautifully described. And each of these arts are eternally present as persons in the spiritual world and ever ready to serve the Supreme Lord. They're existing eternally to give pleasure to the divine couple Radha and Krishna. So that is why actually the origin and the meaning of every art and the purpose of every art is in fact to give pleasure to Krishna. It is stated that actually when the gopis are, they're innocent cowherd women, and they had such deep love and devotion for Krishna. And when they wanted to sing for Krishna, Goddess Saraswati herself came and recited on their tongue to inspire them with the poetic, the poetry and songs and compositions that will ultimately please the heart of Krishna. So, that is how, all the demigods and when, in the spiritual world, everything, everybody is subservient to give pleasure to Lord Krishna and assist him in his pastimes. And so are these 64 transcendental arts. So today we're going to have an announcement of the results of Haritoshanam. All of you have beautifully expressed your talents of, art, poetry, singing, dancing, writing, craft, different talents that Krishna has blessed you with. You have engaged it in glorifying and pleasing the Lord and offered it as a gift on the occasion of Janmashtami. So these are just glimpses of, of the full perfectional arts that are present eternally in the spiritual world. The 64 transcendental arts, which, as I said, are personifications. That is, there is the, let's say, the transcendental art of painting. There's a person. Painting is not just a kala, it's a person in the spiritual world. It's different, it's difficult to conceive. Okay. Can you please mute yourself? So it is difficult to conceive with the material intelligence how these arts are persons. That is the reality of the spiritual world. So that is how Krishna derives enjoyment, through the Chinmaya Rasa in the spiritual world. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, so today as a topic is the associates of Srimati Radharani. I'll just briefly go through certain details that have been given in the Adi Leela of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then I will just share with you few very wonderful information that is present in the book Ujjvala Neelamani. Stay tuned. It can be a little technical. A lot of details are given. Krishna Kanta Gana Dheki Trividha Prakara Eka Lakshmi Gana Pure Mahisha Gana Ara Brajangana Rupara Kanta Gana Sara Shri Radhika Haite Kanta Ganera Vistara. So here is a description of the Trividha Prakara, Krishna Kanta Gana. The consorts of Lord Krishna are of three types, Trividha Prakara. What is the first? Lakshmi Gana, goddesses of fortune. The second is Mahishi Gana. These are the queens of Dwaraka. Okay, and Vrajangana. Vrajangana means the milkmaids or the Braja Gopis. So these are the three Vidha Prakara Krishna Kanta, the three types of consorts of Lord Krishna. So the Lakshmi Gana, as I said, is the goddesses of fortune or the Lakshmi Devis. Like just like Krishna expands himself into various Vishnu avatars, the plenary expansions, the plenary portions, and to the form of Narayana, and as a form of Vishnu. And so each of this Narayana form and the Vishnu form has a consort who is Lakshmi Devi. So this Lakshmi is one of the expansions of Srimati Radharani. There is this beautiful verse in the Brihad Gautamiya Tantra. Devi Krishna Mai Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Sambhara. So Srimati Radharani is the Sarva Lakshmi Mai. She is the supreme goddess of fortune from whom all the Lakshmis are, originating. She's the origin of all the goddesses of fortune. So this Lakshmi Gana is that, the goddesses of fortune. Then what is the Mahishi Gana? Mahishi Gana are the queens of Dwaraka, who are related to Krishna in the Swakiya Rasa. So these queens are innumerable, and of them the foremost are the 8 principal queens, and of them the 2 foremost are Rukmini Devi and Satyabhama. So Rukmini and Satyabhama are the foremost queens, the Mahishi Gana of Lord Krishna. The others being Jambavati, Kalindi, Bhadra, Kaushalya, etc. So these are the 8 principal queens of Dwaraka, the Mahishi Gana. And of them, as I said, the supreme are Rukmini and Satyabhama. And Rukmini Devi is topmost in her opulence. And it is said Satyabhama is in fact the topmost in being the most fortunate queen of Lord Krishna. Even more fortunate than Rukmini. So, and then the Vrajangana, the gopis of Vrindavan. So these are the 3 Vidha Prakara. We will just get into a short detail of each of them. Avatari Krishna yache kare avatara, Amshini Radha hoite tina ganera vistara. Just as the fountainhead, Lord Krishna is the cause of all incarnation, so Sri Radha is the cause of all these consorts. So as I said, just like how from Krishna originates all the Purusha avatars, the Vaibhava, Vilasa, and Vaibhava Prakasha. These are the very beautiful descriptions, very detailed description is given in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. They are the various expansions of Krishna. So the Vaibhava Prakasha and the Vaibhava Vilasha. So similarly, from Srimati Radharani, all the consorts are originating. Like Krishna is the fountainhead of all the Purusha avatars, and Radharani is the fountainhead of all the Shakti avatars. So as I said, Vaibhava Gana Yena Tamra Anga Vibhuti Bimba Pratibimba Rupa Mahishira Tati. So goddesses of fortune are partial manifestations of Srimati Radhika. And the queens are reflections of her image. So this the Lakshmis, all the Lakshmis are her partial manifestations. It is said that they have originated from the left side of Srimati Radharani. And the queens are like the mirror images, reflections. And then the goddesses of fortune are her plenary portions and display the forms of Vaibhava Vilasa, and queens are of the nature of Vaibhava Prakasha. So what is this Vaibhava Vilasa and Vaibhava Prakasha? So is there the first canto how Krishna's Purusha avatars are classified similarly into Vaibhava Vilasa. And the Vaibhava Vilasa is the other Vishnumurti forms of Lord Krishna. So in Vaibhava Prakasha, like Lord Krishna in the Dwaraka. And here, this is the topic of our discussion today. The Vraja Devis have diverse bodily features. They are her expansions and are instruments for expanding rasa. And why actually Radharani has expanded herself, Kaya Vyuha it is called. Yeah. So the reason why Srimati Radharani has expanded herself into so many associates, why? It is purely for one reason, because she just wants to intensify the pleasure of Lord Krishna. That is why she's called the pleasure potency. And why many? Because, in English, they're saying the more the merrier. Yeah. It causes an exaltation in the rasa. Yeah. So without many concerts, there is not much of exaltation. So there are many manifestations of Srimati Radharani to assist Lord's pastimes. Interestingly, so we might have a very narrow concept of what, the mundane concept of what is the relationship between the lover and a beloved. It's like we cannot apply this logic in the spiritual realm. For example, Krishna himself is stated in the Ujjvala Nilamani that he can exhibit different types of the relationships of paramour in 96 different ways. Yeah. So Krishna's exhibition of his loving potency as a lover is not in just one mode. There are some 96 different ways. Very interesting. So one of the way is a lover who is very faithful. Number two is one who is, so especially this kind of a rasa is more applicable towards, in his sentiment towards Srimati Radharani. Yeah. The next is, he also exhibits a relationship that wherein he is very, number one is faithful. Number two is where he is also in the mode of cheating. Now, this cheating again is not the kind of cheating that we come across in the material realm. The faithful lover, the second is the expert lover, third is the cheating lover, and the fourth is the bold and arrogant lover. So Krishna is, again, he plays the role of Pati and Upapati. Pati means the husband, Upapati is, the conjugal mate, the highest, expressed in the highest rasa of Parakiya Bhava. So in this way, Krishna manifests himself in the relationship of Parakiya Bhava in 96 different ways, 96 different modes. And so does by the potency of Srimati Radharani, she expands herself into different Braja Gopis. So these Braja Gopis, and again, like the concerts of Lord Krishna, I'll stop sharing here. Yeah, so the concerts of Lord Krishna broadly classified into two types. This is a very, very interesting classification. Yeah, the first classification, I'm sure all of you are aware, that the Swakiya Ras and the Parakiya Ras. Yeah, the Swakiya Gopis and the Parakiya. The Swakiya concerts and the Parakiya concerts. What are Swakiyas? The Swakiya are the faithful queens or the chaste wives of Lord Krishna from Dwaraka. And the Parakiya, in the Parakiya Bhav are the Braja Gopis. They're again classified into two types. One is the Kanyaka Gopis and the Prodha. The Kanyaka are the unmarried girls of Vrindavan, and Prodha are the married women. So here is one topic of controversy, which is most often, blown out of proportion. That why is Krishna dancing with girls who are the wives of other men? Yeah. So isn't that immoral? Many times this topic is discussed. So, or some people might ask you the same question. So once and for all, this is very easy to answer, not at all difficult to understand. The very clear understanding of this concept is Krishna is the only Purusha. Yeah, and he is the origin of every living entity. Yeah, from him is originating Srimati Radharani, and from Srimati Radharani, the different gopis, and from the marginal, the Tatastha Shakti, the Jivatmas are coming. Krishna is the supreme origin. He's a Sarva Karana Karana. And everybody is Krishna's property. Yeah. So everybody belong to Lord Krishna. So we should then the question is, somebody asked the same question to Srila Prabhupada, and this is how Prabhupada answered. He said, so everybody is Krishna's property. Why are you trying to enjoy Krishna's property? Yeah. So whomever Krishna has danced with, the gopis or who apparently are the wives of other gopas, are in fact originally they're all belonging to Lord Krishna himself. And it is one more understanding is actually all the gopis of Vrindavan have performed something called the Katyayani Vrata to attain Lord Krishna as their husband. And interestingly, during the Brahma Vimohan Leela, Brahma Vimohan Leela, for 1 year, after the Brahma Vimohan Leela, for 1 year, where all the gopas are stolen by Brahma and they are hidden in the Brahma Loka. So Lord Krishna himself actually goes to all the houses of Vrindavan as the different Gopakumaras. Yeah. And for 1 year, he stays in their house, enacting as their son. And it is said that it is during that 1 year, all the marriages of Vrindavan take place. Yeah. So Krishna, that's how fulfills the desires of all the gopis who have performed the Katyayani Vrat to attain Lord Krishna as their husband. In that 1 year, in Braja, all the girls of different age groups, young, little, old, everybody got married in that 1 year. And who married? So it is all apparently the gopas, but then who was manifested as a gopas? It is because Krishna himself manifested as a Gopakumaras. Because all the gopas were actually stolen and kept in the Brahmaloka by Lord Brahma. So it is Krishna, in fact, who married all the gopis of Vrindavan during that 1 year phase. So, and after that actually is the pastime of the Rasa Leela, the Rasa dance. So this is how one can understand. So this is like the 3 types of gopis. This what the 2 types of gopis in Parakiya Bhav. Prodha, the unmarried girl, the Kanyaka and the Prodha. Also, the gopis are further classified into 3 types. One is the sadhana para gopis. Here is another very interesting classification. The sadhana para gopis. That means the gopis who have attained perfection by sadhana. Then the next is there are the demigoddesses. And the third is the nitya gopis. So who are these sadhana para gopis? As I said, they are the gopis who have, they are the by dint of performance of staunch devotional service, sadhana, they have attained Lord Krishna as their eternal, and they have become the associates of Lord Krishna in the spiritual world. So these gopis are again of 2 types. They are the gopis who, by engaging in solid devotional service, have perfected their lives. These are the sadhana para gopis. These are again of 2 types. So one is Yautiki and the second is Ayautiki. So who are these Yautiki gopis? These Yautiki gopis means they are like in groups, they perform bhakti and they attain perfection, and in a group, they go back to Godhead. Very interesting, Ayautiki gopis. These are Yautiki means in groups. And Ayautiki gopis means they are single, like individually they perform very intense sadhana and they perfect. So, and then again, Ayautiki are also 2 types. One is, who perform a very long term, the Prachina gopis and the Navina gopis. The Prachina means they have performed austerities and performed the whole process of devotional service for a long time and then attain perfection. It's called the Prachina. And there is Navina gopis who within a short span have attained perfection and they have taken births in the wombs of demigoddesses and and upgraded themselves and have taken birth on the Bhauma Vrindavan in the womb of the gopis. So these are the, sadhana para gopis. And the second type are the demigoddesses. So demigoddesses, sometimes Krishna in his partial manifestation, he manifests in the heavenly planets. So during that time, the gopis also manifest along with him as different demigoddesses. So and these are the liberated gopis. And those who are in the heavenly planets, they actually understand the position of these gopis who are the Nitya Siddha gopis. They associate with them. They make friendship with them. They make relationships with them. And because of being inspired by their devotion in their next lives, these demigoddesses of heavenly planets, they take birth in the Bhauma Vrindavan and further associate with the Nitya Siddha gopis and perfect their life, and they go back to Godhead. This is their pathway. Yeah, the demigoddesses. And the third type is the Nitya Priya gopis. The Nitya Priya are like they're eternally liberated gopis. They simply descend to assist the Lord in his pastimes, whenever he descends on the earth. And it is by their association that the rest of the sadhana siddha gopis and all, they attain perfection. So this goes to say that association is very, very important. Yeah, we should learn the art of associating. That is why. Yeah, I remember long ago when I was in Mayapur, one great Swamiji, he said that if you do not learn how to associate or take benefit of association from the seniors and guidance as to how to progress in bhakti, even Lalita and Vishaka might pass right in front of you and you might not derive any benefit. So that is the reason why our group has been created, for you to interact with each other, be active, take guidance. How should I, why should I actually take to spiritual life? How should I balance it with my material life? How can I be the best version of myself? How can I perfect my life? So much is available in this online medium. So it's up to us to actually take benefit from this. If we do not, as I said, Lalita Vishaka will just pass right in front of you and you wouldn't even know. And, you might just miss the opportunity to perfect life. And the highest, and, only in this Kali Yuga, Chaitanya, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this greatest of fortune is available to us. In no other era is it available. Yeah. So this is how, the gopis are classified, and especially the associates of Srimati Radharani. I'll end with this. So the gopi friends of Radharani are again of 5 types. Yeah. The Sakhis, the Nitya Sakhis, who are the eternal friends. The Sakhis, the Nitya Sakhis, the Prana Sakhis, the Priya Sakhis. The Priya Sakhis are they look exactly like Radharani. Yeah, they're very, very special. Yeah, the Sakhis, the Nitya Sakhis, the Prana Sakhis, the Priya Sakhis, and 5th and most important are the Parama Preshta Sakhis. They are the dearmost. So these Parama Preshta Sakhis are the 8, the Ashta Sakhis of Radharani, who are Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra, Champakalata, Tunga Vidya, Induleka, Rangadevi, Sudevi. So these are the Ashta Sakhis. They are the Parama Preshta Sakhis of Srimati Radharani. So together, so these are the, this is an unending, there are different types of classifications based on their relationship and their service. Like there are some gopis who are messengers, some play different roles. Based on those roles also, they're further classified. It's as I said, it's an oceanic topic. Today, I just thought I will just touch upon it. So the reason why I have got into this topic is every day we chant the holy name of Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So this Hare is Srimati Radharani. So when we are chanting Hare, we are taking shelter of the internal potency of the Lord. So what is this Hare? What is her nature? What is her tattva? What is her pastimes, when we understand this very deeply, we take true and deeper shelter of the holy name. Yeah. So we are taking shelter of Srimati Radharani by chanting of the holy names. But when we listen to her glories, when we understand her mahima, so we take a much deeper shelter. And I'm sure if you have heard these lectures, and if you're trying to understand the glory and the mercy of Srimati Radharani, it will definitely have its improvement in the quality of your own chanting. So thank you all very much. I will end this session here. We will head towards our Harito.